Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Zero Authority is a community of people who believe in open source and permissionless systems built on stacks and secured by Bitcoin. Thanks for joining the first Zero Authority community call on Livestream. Today, we're going to start with a creator spotlight. We want to share a few updates from the ecosystem. We think of ourselves as the conduit to amplify the creators, the developers, and any people building in the ecosystem here as a part of Stackers. First, we're going to talk to Luis. He has an update on Writer. Second, we're going to talk to Jamil from stxnft.com on the creator portal. Then we're going to hear from Vandal and Longstreet and hear a really cool story about Project Indigo and what they're building. And then we're going to share some community updates from myself, Kurt, James. You also know James as Hodl Stacks, and Kenny and the Maria verse. And before we get started, Luis, Kurt, how are you guys?
Good, man. I'm
Doing
doing
awesome.
perfectly fine.
And
How about
James,
you?
how are you too, man?
Oh, doing good. Excited to dive in here.
Lewis, please give us an update on Writer. We're super stoked to get this, to buy the product. I've been following the updates for a while, and I can't wait to buy one.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think to give everybody a context on what Writer is, maybe let's start with like, okay, what are we doing, right? Like, what's the problem that we're solving, and what's the mission? So I'm gonna give you my little elevator pitch that I practice with Stacks Accelerator. Shout out to Trevor and team for simplifying these old technical jargons and just uplifting it to become more high level. So my elevator pitch is, okay, so Zero and Kurt and James, imagine if you're like an NFT party, right? You're going to an NFT party and and in order to get in, you need to show your NFT. So let's walk on the usual experience. You're gonna pull out your laptop on your bag. You're gonna log into your browser. You're gonna need to sign on your extension, probably like Hero Wallet. You go to a website, send a transaction. The moment you're done, the party's over, right? But what if you can do this in less than 5 seconds? So introducing Writer. So Writer is the first of its kind social wallet. Because today we have software wallets that you use to log into Web3 applications. You have hardware wallets that actually store your network. So the next generation of wallet is actually wallets that focuses on bringing real life interaction to crypto. And that's what Writer does. So with Writer, you can actually use your on-chain assets within the physical space. So imagine a scenario where you use your DIDs to open a door, enter an establishment, you tap a single transaction, or you even flick an NFT with your friends. So Writer speeds the onboarding process, create bug stuff to tap and laws, and make key management, day-to-day key management easier. So in that sense, we can bring like the next 100 amp to crypto. I know that's like a big North Star, but that's like our mission, right? Because for me, I feel like I've been in crypto since 2016, and then I had friends way back then. Oh, I want to get into crypto, but the technical barrier was very high. 6 years later, 2022, they said, Louis, we still want to get into crypto. I was like, man, it's been 6 years. And I felt like I think there's a lot of team that focuses on the protocol level, but none or few on the user level. But that's like this elevator pitch. I know it was quite long, but now we can move forward with the updates. I'm gonna share, guys, some Figma files because okay.
Okay.
Once.
And shout out to Stacks, the foundation, Will, Trevor, Muni, Brittany, everyone. And I won't be there for Miami, but I'm glad everyone's going to meet up in real life, get to shake some hands and kiss some babies. Well, probably don't kiss anyone because you probably want to still keep some distance. But that's a great way to think about it. I didn't think about like the user extension of a different wallet type. That's really fascinating.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think for us, because like I think if you look at closely the evolution of web, right? So you have like Web 1, this all about the information age, and it was actually catapulted by the PC. And then you have Web 2, which is the user generation content. It was forefronted by smartphones. And now you have to think of it, okay, the adoption curve for smartphones are flattening, right? So there's actually there's a space for hardware in Web3. It also makes sense that a hardware plus software will catapult Web3. That's like our thesis on it. So yeah, but anyways, guys, I'm gonna show you some updates about Writer. So we're working on a rebrand, as you can see, but then this is a sample draft of like the upcoming landing page for like the pre-sale. You can see here. Let me know if you have any comment feedbacks.
So when is
And
the
then
pre-sale, or when
Q,
is? Go ahead.
Q2. I
Oh,
can,
Q2. Okay.
yeah, Q2. Yeah, so get your bags ready. It's on Q2, guys. Yeah, you're gonna see more of me as the day comes closer. And then we're also doing Bitcoin names through Writer. I think maybe if you guys want to
Nice.
do like Serial Authority Bitcoin space, just contact us. I'm more than happy to fix it for you guys. I think we're gonna leverage more on community with the Bitcoin names for Writer. So shout
That's
out to all the communities out there. If you want to build your community namespace, you know how to contact. I have plugged in, but yeah, cool.
sweet.
Okay, yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
You guys have any questions or?
So your whole thing is there's room for hardware, right? A lot of people are doing software in Web3, and your take is there's a little a niche for hardware.
Yeah, of course, mate, definitely. I think. Okay, my question to you guys is, what will happen if we program capital and decision making for hardware startups, right? I really like the phrase for like Steve Jobs. He said, yeah, if you do your own software, you should also build your own hardware. If we're being honest here, you can't realize a user-owned internet with all the centralized devices that we're using, right? I think one good takeaway is, for example, okay, let's look at stacks, the network itself. In order to maintain a healthy blockchain network, you need follower nodes, right? And you can actually do it by installing a Raspberry Pi and then running some codes in it. But nobody's doing it because nobody is focusing on the hardware. But what if there's a scenario where we can actually fund those kind of initiatives? And I know the community will buy it, right? Because it's like, yeah, if you buy this single device, you can actually run a follower node and it makes the network healthy. So those kind of things I think should be put forward because it's more like on the infrastructure layer and nobody's paying attention to it. Everybody's just like using the blockchain. But I think there's a lot of space for hardware that's more on the infrastructure side. And then imagine if you can actually also change the way, for example, on Writer 2, right? So every writer could vote. What if you can vote on what the Writer 2 will look like, right? What feature to implement next? It changes how product is is coming to consumer, right? Because usually it's like one way, and now you have like a direct relationship. Those are the things that we try to work on. I think it's super interesting, and nobody is actually working on it.
No, I like to, and this is why I'm bullish on what you guys are building with Writer, and because I know I would love to use that product today, and so I'm just super stoked. And Lewis, thanks for dropping by. Thanks for giving everyone in the community an update. And so look out Q2 this year. There's going to be the release, and is it sign up for beta or is it going to be sign up and the product is coming soon?
So when you buy the NFT, you get actually the device.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So yeah, and there's gonna be various tiers. So for example, there's gonna be a tier that you just got an NFT, and then most of the tiers, only one tier doesn't have an NFT, doesn't have the device. But then from tier 1 all the way to 7, you get a device with it with like various benefits on it. So for example, in one of the tiers, we also have a dev kit, but that's like mostly for developers. So it's like the exploded view of Writer. So you can actually implement features, you can request, put GitHub requests in our repository and all this kind of stuff if you want more features. But yeah, it's coming.
Sweet.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, thanks so much for giving us an update and tuning in with the community here.
Okay, thank you so much for bringing me in, guys. I really appreciate
Sure,
it.
we look forward to having you next time too.
Of course, mate, definitely.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah, nice talking with you.
Yeah.
Hey, Jamil, how are you, brother?
Hey everyone, doing well. Thanks for having me on, Zero, and great to see you, Kurt and Huddle.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, great to have you on.
Thank
Hey,
you.
well, Jamil, thanks for stopping by the community here. We see that you guys, obviously, there's a ton of UI changes and UX changes. You have the profiles now for creators. And something I didn't even realize, I mean, I go on the site pretty often, and I was like, okay, you guys have this creator portal. So I was like, we have to get Jamil on. Also, you're fully doxxed now. So when we first started talking a year ago, I had no idea who you were. You probably didn't even know who most of us were either. So, dude,
Yeah.
thanks for stopping by, man.
Yeah, it's been amazing to get to know the community more. I remember Kurt, even like before Stacks NFT even started, we were talking on Twitter back in the, MIA mining,
Yes.
developing that and the Twitter accounts and stuff like that. So it's been awesome to like grow with the community and get to know everybody.
Yeah, this is the first time I've actually chatted with you like eye to eye. Before it's just Discord or like less.
Yeah, after months.
Just a bunch of
Yeah.
avatars.
Yeah, and actually to that point, I'll start talking about some of the creator portal stuff. When I came into this ecosystem and people wanted to launch their NFT collections, they really had to go through a marketplace. Like you had to talk to somebody at Stacks NFT or at Stacks Art back then, and then they basically had to do the development work for you, right? And they were like gatekeepers, and we were actually gatekeepers, right? We had tons of people coming to us saying, hey, we want to launch an NFT collection. I'm an artist, or I want to support this cause. But we just had so many requests, right? And we would have to be that intermediary between the creator and getting their work out there. But that's just not how we wanted to operate, right? That's against the ethos of Web3. That's against what we're trying to do. That's against the principles we're trying to uphold. And it's just not healthy for the community in general. And platforms that offered this service has also done it in a centralized way. So if StacksArt or us were to launch an NFT contract, we would do it on our own wallet address, right? And launch the contract from our wallet address, and we'd be the operators of that smart contract. So this wasn't the ideal circumstance, and we knew things had to change. But the way others had done it in, for example, the Ethereum ecosystem, is if you want to mint an NFT on OpenSea, what they do is not ideal either. They basically get you to upload some files, and it gets added to their own OpenSea smart contract. This is like one smart contract that OpenSea owns, and you add your NFTs to that. But you still don't have the control over it, and it's not your own smart contract. It's like you don't have the same ability to then like token gate your community or build on top of it in a composable way. So it just wasn't great, right? So I saw this other guy that was around the ecosystem. His handle is TX Post, and he was helping other artists launch their collections faster than we were able to. And I'm like, this is pretty cool, right? And I approached him and was like, why don't we build this thing together where we offer a service where you can just drag and drop your images, your metadata, and we can allow the artist to deploy their smart contract on their own, right? And the goal here was basically to have two principles. Number one is you shouldn't have to hire an engineer or go through a marketplace to launch your NFT collection. And number two, that you own the contract. You have complete control once you press the deploy button, and we can't touch it, right? We literally can't do anything once you press that deploy button. It's all yours, right? And so we started off building this tool, right? This tool that basically gives you the building blocks to build up your own smart contract. So you say, okay, I want a mint pass, I want an airdrop, I want to mint with Miami coin, I want to mint with XBDC, I want to mint with Deco, I want to mint with USDA. You just build these up like little Lego pieces, right? And we write those Lego pieces, those little blocks of code. I want to have marketplace functions in it. I want to have like claim 5 and 25 or whatever. Mm-hmm. And as you walk through the creator portal, you basically get to build up this smart contract for yourself, right? Without any code, without any intervention from an engineer or marketplaces. And I think that's it's been used by, I think, about 125 different collections so far, which I think is more NFT collections that had been deployed by the marketplaces, combined in the past. And it's really cool. We just had the Satoshiables guys. They launched their Bitcoin on the beach proof of attendance NFT using the creator portal. We've had Alex Redloff, who did the Blocks collection, launched his reinvention collection on the creator portal. So it's been super successful, and I think it just follows in line with what we're trying to build. Putting more control in the hands of creators and artists, and actually further out of our hands, and just trying to lift the community together.
So what is the website, Jamil? Like, and what's like the onboarding? Like,
Yeah, sure. So let me see if I can share my screen to show you what that's like.
And I was just talking to Alexander about the reinvent. The blocks, I think what he's doing with the generative art, and it's just phenomenal.
Okay, so let me share your screen.
Sure.
Oh. There's so many people in the queue. Hold on.
All right. So this is the creator portal where you can see NFTs that have been launched on our platform. So you can see, the Project Indigo Music one. There's, tons of collections. Here's the Bitcoin on the Beach one that I just mentioned from the Satoshiables team. City Packs, which was using similar infrastructure. But here you can create your own, right? So we just select some of the terms and conditions. When you're launching your own collection, we want to make sure we don't have the liability for it as well. That's the main thing. And you can just fill this out, like the collection name, description, what mint price you want, what address you want the proceeds to go to. And then you can drag and drop your images right here. You can add a cover image, attribute CSV file for metadata. And then you can include additional claim functions like claim 3, claim 5, if you want people to be able to claim more than one NFT at one time. If you have a whitelist or presale or mint pass, you can add that here too. So this all comes with like the Mint website as well. So even if you're doing a presale, we'll automatically check like how much presale balance does each user have. Only let them mint if they have the whitelist or if they have the Mint pass. And then if you want to airdrop NFTs to people for free, of course, I mentioned the City Coins minting. We'll suggest a price based on your stacks price for MIA and NYC or WRAP Bitcoin or USDA. And then this mint limit per user also, if you want to do something like only restricting a mint so if someone can only claim one NFT and can't claim 10 of them, this works great for free mints like the Bitcoin on the Beach one or the Wasteland Ape, something like that.
Yeah, I like that feature. I like the buy 5 and then I like the limit to 1.
Yeah, this limit to 1 was a hugely requested feature, especially for the free mints. And once you review the collection, it'll upload it to IPFS, so you don't need to worry about hosting the images. We do that for you. And then it'll just prompt you to deploy the contract. And then you're done. You can do this in basically like 20 minutes or less, basically, which is a huge difference to the days-long process that it would take before to launch your NFT collection.
That is so amazing. And Jamil, I don't know if I ever got the chance to personally thank you for Bitcoin pizzas. You are the reason why that project was launched and we were able to get off the ground. Dude, thank you so much.
Well, thank you. It's always a pleasure to help creators and those launching their NFT projects. I mean, you're the reason why the marketplaces exist, so I should be thanking you.
No, you actually did it from start to end. So, I owe you so much. Maybe we're going to have a vote on Bitcoin Pizza Day. So jump in, decide how we're going to use those funds to help some public goods.
Amazing. Yeah, we'll be glad to join. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Great to see you, Jamil.
Thank you for all you do.
Appreciate it. Talk to y'all later.
You guys still there? Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Perfect. So Longstreet is added. I need to remove. Let's see here. Okay. So Longstreet, are you there?
Hey guys, I am here. I'm kind of teaching at the same time, but I'm just checking the here you are.
Well, this is the best lesson any students could get.
Right here, yeah.
Hey, we were going to play the conversation we had, but thanks for just dropping in really quick for the live conversation.
Of course.
Could you just, before we play the recording, could you just give us just a quick update on I think they're getting the session started.
You get to a quiet room here, yeah. Sounds good though, huh?
Yeah, it does. It sounds really good.
Okay.
Actually, I'll play the video if you
There
want
we
to
go.
kick it off. I can play the video, and then oh, perfect visual.
Yeah, whatever
Hey.
you prefer. There I am.
No, but before we play the video, if you could just give us just a quick update and overview of the project that you've done with Vandal and with Project Indigo and all the music stuff you've been doing. Just a quick update before we play the video.
Yeah, the video does a good job of explaining it, but it's just been an evolutionary process. And I originally had an idea for a project that I approached several communities about, but then that eventually led to the music for Project Indigo. And going forward, I think for Chapter 3, we are going to be doing the mint a little bit differently. I think that's all I'll say for now, but it's going to be Chapter 3 mint is going to be different and kind of new because they're doing cool things with the Tox token. So it's just been like everything in this space, things change and adapt so quickly. So lots of evolution.
Okay, so let me play
Hey,
the
Kurt,
video.
real quick, Kurt, congratulations. That's an amazing development.
Thank you. Yeah,
Holy smokes.
I'll be joining OKCoin next week as community manager. So I appreciate like everyone's support to make this possible.
We
It's
were
amazing.
going to save it till the end, but
Sure.
since we're talking about it now, Kurt, man, we're going to really miss you here at Zero Authority and just across the ecosystem. But we're super stoked for your next journey, brother.
Yeah, I mean, Stacks brought me to OKCoin, right? When Stacks started training OKCoin, there were so many people that moved over, and I was like, wow, I like this platform. And so now I
Yeah.
get to join and build it out and work with the community.
Yeah. Okay, Coin's definitely the home of stackers, so.
It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Can I ask what that's going to change for you as far as your day-to-day lifestyle?
Multiple things. I might be involved in kind of lunches, conferences. I might be traveling on the road a little, which is different from what I'm doing now, which is kind of behind a computer on a desk at home. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to like talking to a bunch of folks.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I start next week, so ask me in 30 days. I'll tell you what I'm actually going to be doing.
Yeah, right. Well, don't forget about us now.
Indeed, I won't forget about you guys. It's been amazing, and I'll be right there. Okay, so let me play the video, and then if everyone goes on mute, if you guys want to talk, you guys can also talk. It should all work at the same time.
Okay, thank you.
Got it.
Hey, Vandal, Longstreet. Thanks for joining Zero Authority Creator Spotlight. The Project Indigo story has been captivating and keeping us all on the edge of our seats. Longstreet, we've been a huge fan of your music and your ideas about music NFTs. Thanks for joining today, guys. How are you?
Doing great.
Doing well. Thanks for having us.
Hey, so we all know about Project Indigo and the music that you're doing, Longstreet. Can you tell us about how you guys started? We know you and Timbo were both Megapont ape holders, and how did you connect with Longstreet?
Yeah, so I think just going back to the beginning of the project, I was really interested in creating a story and a world, and just honestly had been looking for a creative outlet for a while, but never really found something that felt right. Um, and I did stumble upon Megapont and kind of watched their, their kind of world and their art and everything. That was inspiring for me, and so I thought, I want to like, this is my platform. I want to use this for something cool. And I was interested in that creative element and creating that story and that world. But I needed to find someone to pair up with who knew the technology side. And so Timbo was the one that answered that call. So we started talking over Twitter, and then just very quickly, kind of put together some concepts for collection, and he was able to help out with, the generation and the contract setup and everything. So that was, we were able to get off the ground pretty quickly. And since then, it's crazy. Like, the ideas are just piling up and piling up and piling up. So for how to expand this concept and build out this world, and the gameplay and everything that we're interested in. And so since then, the team has expanded quite a bit. We're working with an amazing artist in Prague. We're working with an incredible backend developer who's set up the mechanics for how Tox works and how XP and other things work, and the whole kind of backend for story mode. And Timbo's been working on front end things there as well. So that's kind of formed up our core team. And we're also working, of course, as you guys know, with Longstreet on the music side. And that has been, like, the feedback on that has been incredible so far. People are really telling me that the music is bringing the whole kind of experience together and making it special.
Yeah, I can jump in now. So I approached a few different communities with some music ideas. And those original ideas that I first reached out about are still like on the back burner. But what they did is I sent out some samples of, like, this is a project that I have in mind. What do you think about it? It didn't go in that direction. And then I think, Vandal, you sent an idea for something else. You said, this is a cool idea. Maybe we'll get there later, but would you want to do something like this?
Yeah, that's right.
But
We were looking at puzzles originally, like kind of musical elements to it, like a puzzle element for the story mode.
yes,
Remember?
yes.
Yeah.
It's still something that I'm developing, so I think that's all I want to say about it for right now. Because
Don't give too much away.
that's right. Because as I've been reaching out with this, like, original idea, like I said, like, that's not happening, but it's opened the door and the connection to be able to provide music for other projects now. So this is very much like first and foremost in my time right now is to be working on this music. It's been so rewarding. So that led to this idea of, well, maybe we can do this later, but for now, could you do music in this style? And then in the Discord, I asked, like, what do you guys think are some songs that you would like to hear? And so we started a community playlist, like a Wasteland playlist. And Vandal has been really good at providing temp music. So a lot of stuff from Fallout and Diablo 2. So I just started listening to a lot of that stuff to get inspired. And then I started creating and building, and I had to learn a few new things. So it's been really fun for me to continue developing as a composer, especially on the production side, because my background is much more like composing for real instruments, like band, especially jazz band is my background. So to be able to dive deeper and to go more into sampling and into production, into the production side of things, has been super rewarding. And I've been making music that I have never been asked to or challenged to make before. So it's been incredibly rewarding, and I'm happy to hear the positive feedback from people.
I have to say it's been an amazing effort, because like every few days I would just send Longstreet, some random snippet of some song and say, hey, this is cool, or this sounds like the ambiance that I would love to have. And somehow, like, amazing music that's right on brand just kind of pops out. from his magical workstation. And it's really just been incredible. It's been a huge positive for the project, and it's been really fun to work on in general.
Definitely, yeah. It's been a fun development too, because this week we've been talking a lot about NFT utility, and I made that tweet about does an artist need to have utility in their work? Because people were asking, like, is there utility with the music NFTs for these chapters? And we hadn't established that, but because this conversation came up, we then did decide to include the talks utility. So anyone who holds the music for 1A or 1B will now be getting the talks utility, just like they would for any other partnership NFTs. So I think there was a real positive to come out of that conversation.
I think too, just with the ethos of crypto, the ethos of Stacks is just open, transparent, smart, creative, and you get all of those elements in this, right? This is like one of the first times that I remember where you actually play the game, some of the people creating the game, and you get to see behind the scenes where, okay, I'm actually making some of the music for the game and I'm playing it. Every time I think about that, I just, my mind explodes. And so that's why everyone at Zero Authority, and myself included, we're just super stoked to talk to both of you guys today about this.
Yeah, if I can jump in real quick, one of my favorite things about this space is how you can have an idea, put it out there, someone else takes that idea, and you just keep feeding off of each other. And if I can just jump on to a little bit of a tangent, but we all know Alexander, what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
He had this project.
Are you talking about Blocks?
Yeah, so Alexander, who did Blocks,
Yeah.
one of the other projects that he did was doing his like algorithmic technique, artistic technique on other people's NFTs. I thought that was such a cool idea. So we're seeing this community, and I've been in here since over the summer, right? And I've been getting to know more and more people, getting connected with people, and seeing what kind of a small world it is. And it's really profound to, as a creator, as a creative person, to be able to see your work kind of reverberate around a space and build and grow and have other people build onto it too. I couldn't do this by myself. I would not have made this music if not for Vandal and the whole Project Indigo. It's an incredible thing that I think will continue to suck people into this space. It's really exciting.
Absolutely, yeah. I think like the best part of the space is like the community aspect, and we actually, our voice acting comes from within the community. Now we have music coming from within the community. It really is like we're all kind of just building this thing. It's pretty cool.
So you said something interesting too, and you did put out the tweet, Longstreet, that the music NFT holders will gain extra talks, right? So if you buy the music today, you can get extra talks in the story mode, and then also on the horizon. So there's a story mode, but on the horizon there will be battles and sequential RGP battles with monsters. That, I think that's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, so we have a system where like when we work with partners or just kind of other NFTs that are outside of our main collection, there's kind of like this small bonus that happens each chapter if you're holding those NFTs. And so the music has been worked into that system. As far as what's on the horizon, we do have this kind of RPG element coming out where you'll be able to sort of set out from the Reach, which is like the main city, kind of where the players are located right now. And you'll be able to hunt kind of the mutated wildlife and monsters of the wasteland for XP and for talks. And so there's a lot of fun things that we're planning for that. It's going to start with a very minimal version where you just have kind of monsters out there that you're battling, and you have to kind of decide when you're at risk of being defeated so that you can kind of return and rest back at the Reach, or risk losing some of the reward. And then beyond that, we have all kinds of really cool ideas coming out where You may be able to encounter things outside the walls of the Reach that are not necessarily monsters. Encounters with characters, encounters with people, with situations and scenarios, and using other traits that go beyond the combat element. But yeah, lots of stuff to come. Equipment also coming for that raid mechanic. So you'll be able to add items and kind of upgrade your Wastelanders. And it's just a lot of fun stuff coming along.
And will we get to use our Wasteland apes too?
Yeah, so many of the partners that are currently active in story mode, where you can get small bonuses, and we have cameos and things that happen if you're holding those NFTs, will also be usable as characters for the raid mode that's coming out. So you'll still need to have a Wastelander, but you'll be able to use certain partner NFTs as kind of like a companion that's sort of helping your party fight.
Can I jump on that real quick? Because I think that is one of the coolest things that I see in the Stacks community is, like I said earlier, how things like reverberate around the system, and we see all this integration and support from multiple projects. I think it shows the strength that we have in the Stacks community. So that was really exciting to see in Project Indigo. Bravo.
Yeah, I think it's just fun too. It's fun to bring in all sorts of different projects and artwork, and of course it helps us grow somewhat, gives us some exposure. But more importantly, I think it's just a fun mechanic. We had a thing in our latest chapter where you're talking to this scientist, and he kind of he notices that you have certain NFTs present, right? And so he comments on them, and he kind of tells a little story about them, and it's just fun.
I love that you guys have created an interactive story with your NFTs, and you can have music NFTs too. I just love everything about it. But thanks for coming on the very first Zero Authority Creator Spotlight. I really appreciate it, guys.
I really appreciate what both of you are doing for the community. So the gratitude is mutual. Thank you.
Absolutely. Same. Thanks a lot.
Hey, Longstreet, I don't know if you're still there, or if you're back to playing some instruments, but dude, thank you so much. And your music, I think you're pushing Stacks forward. Thank you for pushing us forward.
I appreciate that. You know how passionate I am about the community, so that's a win-win. It's kind of changing my life right now, just because I'm able to think creatively again. So I'm really pumped. Sometimes I just have a hard time falling asleep because I'm thinking about wow, we could do this and we could do this, and then you're up against the problem of I don't have enough time in the day to do all these really fun things. So you guys know.
Yeah. Hey, well, we're. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Hoddle.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I really appreciate having Longstreet around in the community. You just feel the creativity oozing out, so it's awesome to be around.
Yeah, great to see you.
Yeah, I appreciate the support. There's been a lot of especially supportive people too. I want to give a shout out to Francis. I don't know if you see him in several of the other Discords, but in the music, I have a couple little Easter eggs that I haven't really talked about in chapter 1. But he's someone who recognized a lot of things and was really receptive to the music. And so I messaged him, and I'll bounce ideas. I'll give him I'll send him early edits and say what do you think about this? And he gives really good feedback, not just beyond just, oh, that's cool, but he has really good ideas. So he recognized some little Easter eggs that I had hidden in the first chapter, which I was super impressed by. So after that, I realized Francis, I can trust him. So I just want to give a shout out to Francis. He's great.
Well, thank you for coming by and doing this, because you're going to inspire another generation. What Vandal and Timbo are doing with Project Indigo, what you're doing with the music and the whole NFT on Stacks. I'm just blown away by the talent, the creativity, and the collaboration. People don't give a lot of credit to the collaborations, because this is not a zero-sum game. We all win together. So thanks so much, Longstreet.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen here.
So I'm going to bring Kenny on and Maria Verse.
Okay.
Hey, Kenny.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Kenny. Hey, Maria Verse.
Hey guys.
Hey, how's it going?
So let me try to just share my screen.
Okay.
If I have to share my entire screen, it will be okay. Oh, maybe I can just do this.
Zero joined.
Okay. Are you ready for me to show it? Yep.
Yes, please. Try to do that. Okay, maybe I need to do full screen. Is that better?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So first, I wanted to start out, this is going to be the community portion. I wanted to start out and do a community shout out to FRN, Rafa, Benaya, and Advisor. Love the sound effects. Man, you guys. So FRN actually put up a challenge, and so we're going to start pushing more challenges as the Zero Community DAO. And today I wanted to bring everyone up and highlight the good work that's being done. So thank you guys for that. Also, a huge announcement, Stack Swap. They're doing a giveaway. So make sure we'll put the link below, but also to the gold. And if you're one of the random winners on their giveaway, we're going to start airdropping some Zero tokens. And so that's a little bit of alpha that we'll put out there. So if you guys are interested in signing up for the Stack Swap giveaway, they are our partners, and we really like what they're doing, what they're creating with their platform, and pushing the boundaries for stacks. So please check out that link. And a couple of milestones here. So we want to thank everyone who's been tuning in, who's been offering suggestions, who's been retweeting, who's been doing audio with us, or any of the live events. We're just blown away that people come on, collaborate with us. We're just blown away with the talent, the creativity within the ecosystem. It's been a real pleasure for myself, for everyone here to get to know everyone, to see everyone building, developing, creating. It's just been phenomenal. So we want to do more content related to Web3 education. We want to do more content related to Web3 education, how to use developer tools. And so we're going to start rolling some of that stuff out. In Discord, please jump in. We still need to figure out some of the process and internal flows, but we can do that all together. I'm really confident. And then, Huddle, did you want to talk about the DAO?
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I was just muted there for a second. I guess kind of like a high overview of what we are planning to have occur here is we want folks to be able to come in, feel encouraged to contribute various things that can help within the ecosystem. You know, there's a lot of, it seems as though in stacks that there's almost 100% building and maybe not a whole lot of community awareness or outreach. And so we'd like to try and push some more of that outreach so people can see a lot of the great developments that are occurring. So if you come into the DAO, you can contribute, you can do all kinds of things as are listed here. And then what we'll look to do in the future is hopefully we will reward you in your contributions in the Zero token. And that's kind of a little bit, I guess, of a helpful leak as well. And we look to partner with various protocols in the space, and they, as you can see, it creates kind of a symbiotic relationship. If we have folks that are already interested in these communities, they might even be farther incentivized or working with specific protocols that they do love and enjoy using. So that's kind of the high level. And of course, you'll have in DAOs, you'll have a say in how things are run, right? So we are a decentralized operation here. So you will have a voice as well. And then I suppose we probably aren't going to jump into the CreatorHub just yet. Zero, is that something we're going to be deliberating on here in a second? Or
Yeah, so I was, yep, that was the next one here.
okay, you want me to tackle into this too, or?
Yeah, just give a high-level overview, and then Kenny and Mariaverse can jump in on the next one, on the next slide.
Okay, yeah, so, and we're going to have the CreatorHub. A lot of the early work for it has already been tackled, as you'll find out here shortly. But yeah, the goal for the CreatorHub is we want to create a place where it's going to be a home for all people that are involved in Stacks. So the folks that are kind of just passively looking to learn some various things, what's going on, all the way to the people that are a little bit more active. Maybe they want to do some contributions. They want to do a little bit of gig work. For example, like it might be a little tough right now in terms of if you want to join someone's Discord and you want to figure out a way in which you can help them. You know, that we just saw that relationship with Indigo and Longstreet. I imagine there's a lot of those relationships that aren't forming right now just because of how convoluted that process can be. So we want to make that a lot more streamlined and then create good connections so people can take their creative vigor that they have with them and connect with various protocols. And so yeah, that's kind of, if you're the more active person, and then if you're building something as well, we'd love to have you on. And if you're looking for folks in the space, we'd like to be the home for all things learning and building in Stacks. So I think that gives it a fairly good overview. We have some future plans as well.
Yeah, and then thank you, Huddle. For the next area here, I wanted to invite Kenny and Mariaverse just to give some general updates on just some of the work that went into building the front end and getting the beta up and running. And Kenny has taken the time to write this really cool article. And Kenny, please tell us about that too, because people are using that as a tutorial to learn Clarity development and how to build these systems.
Cool. Yeah, I'll jump into the CreatorHub marketplace real quick. So this is kind of the first phase of the CreatorHub, and what this is really designed to do is just give people that are interested in building projects, contributing to the Stacks ecosystem, contributing to projects, and people that need to hire for those, just to kind of connect them together. There's a couple different organizations in the ecosystem that are doing stuff like this, like Hire Vibes is the job board for full-time gigs, but this is kind of more of a sort of, I guess, an all-purpose marketplace where somebody can go on and create their profile and say, I do this, this, and this, and then somebody that's looking to hire them to work can go on and say, oh, that matches up, that skill set matches up with what I'm looking for. And there's not really any like restriction on whether it's, you know, a contract, a one-off thing, full-time employment. It's meant to be flexible and up to the people that are connecting to make that decision. So the first version of it is just going to be super simple, and it's really just going to be a place for people to for the creators to create their profiles. And then it's just going to have a couple of different contact options. So somebody that's looking for work to be done can go on there.
Zero joined.
They can say, hey, I'm looking for a Clarity developer. They type in Clarity into the search box, or they click on the Clarity tag, and then that'll take them to a page that lists all of the people that have put that Clarity tag into their profile. And then they can go on and as the creator, you'll be able to upload a photo if you want, a name, a description, and then just a couple of like portfolio links. So as an example for a creator on here, this is kind of the pathway that we have lined up is you start learning Stacks development, you build a couple projects, get your skill set up, and then you can go on here and you can kind of put on your profile that you're open for work, and then you can also link to those portfolio projects that you built there. So this first version is going to be really simple. Basically, you just have the profiles, and then anybody that's looking to hire can go in and contact them. And then we'll see where it goes from there based on community needs. But eventually we want to add something like a rating system. We'll have two-way profiles, so creators and people looking to hire can both create profiles and connect on here. You know, you can envision it almost like an Upwork for Stacks, for the Stacks ecosystem development. But that'll be all stuff that kind of evolves piece by piece as we get feedback from the community, what people are looking for, see what works, what doesn't. But we wanted to start with the bare minimum And then to the other thing that you mentioned, so I'm the developer advocate for the Stacks Foundation. And so my primary role there right now is to just help developers get building on Stacks. And one of the big things that I heard over and over again was that people were interested in building on Stacks, but it was difficult to get started because the information was kind of sparse and scattered, and sometimes it was difficult to follow. A lot of it was outdated. And so it was just really hard to answer the question, I want to build on Stacks, but I don't know where to start. So I created this sort of like Stacks 101 level tutorial that basically takes you from start to finish, building a full Stacks application. And it's very simple. The tutorial will probably take you, an hour or two to get through if you're an experienced developer. And then I also just deployed the first version of this page that I'm calling Starting Stacks. Right now, if you go to start.stacks.org, you can check out that. And this is still in progress as well, but the first version is complete. And basically what this Starting Stacks page is designed to be is like the one single place that you go to if you're looking to start building on Stacks. And so it'll take you kind of step by step through all of the different pieces that you should look at in order to start building on Stacks. So this tutorial is linked on there. Marvin from the foundation, his Clarity book is linked on there. Clarity Universe is linked on there. And then there's a bunch of resources at the bottom. And so over time, this will evolve. We'll add content to it. We're working with some designers to get it more professionally designed. But over time, the main goal for this Starting Stacks page is just to serve as the singular place for new developers to go to answer that question. I want to start building on Stacks, but I don't know how. We'll be able to send people to this one singular link, and then they can from there figure out the best path for whatever they want to do. And then so that comes in a couple stages. One is obviously the learning stage. That's where we have things like this tutorial, Clarity book, Clarity Universe. There's another in-depth tutorial that I'm working on that's going to walk people through how to build like a production ready Stacks app. This one right here is a little bit high level, and so I wouldn't necessarily say that if you read this tutorial you would be able to go off and then build a production level Stacks application. There'd be some other stuff you need to learn before then, but one of the big things we're going to cover in the new in-depth tutorial is how to create and deploy your own Stacks API node. Big reason for this is a few weeks ago, there was some big controversy and fiasco with like Infura and MetaMask. And what it kind of brought to light was that a lot of the Web3 world right now is really just decentralized on the surface. But if you actually dig down into the tech stack, you realize that there are a lot of centralized bottlenecks. One of those things are API nodes. And so you may be calling to the decentralized Ethereum blockchain, but what's actually happening is that call is being routed through a centralized server that's actually running the API. And the reason that happens is because they're very easy to set up. It's very quick as a developer to say, I'm just going to call to this API, and that's how I'm going to read and write from the blockchain. But the goal here, especially in the Stacks ecosystem, is really to encourage decentralization as much as possible. And so we're trying to push and encourage developers to, when they're building a full stack application, to host and run their own API node. But that's not necessarily quick and easy to get set up. And so that'll be part of this like production level tutorial, is basically saying, how can you not only interact with the Stacks blockchain, but do it through your own API, so that then each developer that's building their dApp on Stacks is also hosting and running their own API, and that'll just enhance that decentralization that much. So there's a couple of things that are coming soon in that ecosystem, and some of the stuff that I've been working on.
Thanks, Kenny. Maria Verse, please chime in. You built our front end, so thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. It was a pleasure to build. Kenny did a great job on the design. So, anytime personally as a web developer that I get to build out a nice looking page, it's always really enjoyable. So I was happy to do it. Glad to help.
And you're doing some development work in Stacks Web3. What's one of the biggest differences in Web3 that you've seen?
I would have to say it's the commitment to transparency and to putting power in the hands of the users, which I think is a big reason why a lot of us are drawn to Web3. So it's really been a pleasure to be able to learn how to build out a lot of the applications that we're kind of used to using in that way. It's kind of funny because I started out kind of like dipping my toes into Clarity. And in the last 2 weeks, I feel like I kind of got pushed into the pool, and it's been just nonstop Clarity. And the more I learn about it, the more I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just incredible. So I guess I do want to say, in terms of Clarity and kind of following up on what Kenny just said, you know, for any developers out there that are maybe coming from like a JavaScript or React background, and you're looking at Clarity and you're like, oh my gosh, this looks, you know, terrifying. I don't really know what's going on here. Give it a chance. And once you kind of dig into it a little bit, it's really an incredible language.
Thank you so much. And to wrap here, we have one last slide. So if let's see, going back to the chat here, Kenny, I know you're doing a lot more work with the foundation. Thank you for all of your contributions. Mariaverse, thank you for all of your contributions. I still remember talking to each of you the first couple of days to say, hey, this thing Zero Authority, I promise you it's not vaporware. I'd love to build something with you guys. So thank you everyone here, and the people that you can't see Algorithm, you can't see a lot of the people in the shout out. So thank you guys for just being here, building together, and committing to transparency. That's been huge, and it's been different for me too, because in Web 2 world you can kind of hide behind project management, but in Web 3, if you say that you're going to commit to these things, you have to show people. Last couple things before we wrap here. So we are looking for people, and we sent out a tweet. We'll send out some more tweets, and we're going to put these things on our webpage. But and thank you to Wilson for letting us use the community license and letting us buy that with Block Survey. So we switched all of our surveys over. So if you want to provide a service, or if you're looking for a service, please sign up, and let's start building these profiles and work together on that. Last thing here, let's see. Kurt, I wanted to say thank you so much. We're really stoked for your new journey. We're sad to see you go, but we know you're part of Web3 forever. You're part of the Zero Authority history. You're part of Stacks. You're part of CityCoiner. I know you're going to do really great things with OKCoin. So just thank you so much for being here and getting us off the ground.
Sure. Thank you for inviting me to be a part of this. Like, we only talked, I think, 3 or 4 months ago, and just in 3 months, we've accomplished a lot together. And it's just been quite a ride already, and we're just starting. Like, you guys are just starting as well. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Kurt. And look forward to keeping in touch with you in the future and seeing you shine at OKCoin.
Yeah, you might see me in some videos from OKCoin, so stay tuned.
Yeah, he's going to become a big star. He's just going to leave us all behind over here.
Won't have any time for us little guys over here anymore.
No, I've got time. I'll see some of you guys at Miami, and I'm sure I'll see you at some community events. OKCoin really wants to focus on community building, and so I'm looking forward to helping them accomplish that mission.
Well, that's great to hear. And Kenny, Mariaverse, Kurt, Hoddle, thank you so much. And to all the guests in the creator spotlight today, Lewis, Jamil, and Longstreet, and Vandal, and everyone that joins our Twitter spaces on Mondays and the live streams on Fridays. We couldn't do this without you guys. We're just so appreciative. Thank you guys today as well.
Yeah. Thank you guys for all your hard work and the community out there. It's been great.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Till next time.
Thanks.
Till next time. Bye.
See y'all.